I did it. I did it. Okay, what am I talking about? I am the girl, if you watched any of my videos. If you've not, I am a girl. My name is Name, and I quit my job to take a sabbatical, to take a career break, to travel the world, and I did the travel part. I did it. I am back. I'll tell you where I am. Well, I am back. So back being where I started from. I live in Canada, so I'm back in Canada. I've rented this little cute spot we'll talk about in a sec, but I did it. I wanna pause, celebrate that, and then give you a bit of an update on how the travel portion of my sabbatical wrapped, and then we'll talk about other stuff. Okay? Alright, what did I do? I did the quitting job thing. I traveled the world, and so what you saw is what happened, or the little bits of what you saw is what happened. And so it was a total of 15 countries spanning 5 continents. I didn't go to Africa on this trip, but I had been in Africa just the year before my sabbatical started in 2024 at the fall. I was in Ethiopia and Kenya, so I didn't go to Africa on this trip, and I didn't go to Antarctica. It was not interesting to me at this point in my life. But I went to 5 continents and 15 countries, and I slow traveled, and lots of new places for me, some old familiar places. It wasn't all easy. It was a little crazy here and there. I didn't plan the whole thing out, and so I was just going by gut feeling. If a place felt right, I stayed. I extended my time. If it felt a little off, I would maybe try another part of the place, or I would leave, because yeah, I could, and I planned to. And so everything was one-way flights. I didn't buy one round trip to anywhere. Not everything went well. There's like stories. I'm still processing the whole thing. There's a lot to share, and that's all coming, but I did it. And so it was 10 months of traveling, a full 10 months, and it was 15 countries, like I said, 5 continents, and now I am back to where I started. Where is this? I'm in Calgary, Canada. And yeah, it feels like a dream. It feels like an incredible dream. In fact, today would be like a full day 1 in the first place I went to, and so it was exactly a year ago today that I was starting the travel portion of my sabbatical. And so talking about this little place I'm renting, where it's a new environment. I haven't filmed from here. That is my velvet gray couch. That is my dining table. That's my art. Like, it's crazy to like have come back, open my storage unit, and I had a life here. I had a life here, and I'll talk about a whole lot of what I've been doing and I've done about like just like decluttering this life, because I came back. I'd been traveling with carry-on only. I'd been traveling with a carry-on suitcase and a backpack, and I came back and I had all this stuff, and it was just too much, and my perspective had changed, and I've done a whole lot of, I think I'll maybe make a whole separate video, because I think everyone should do this, whether you're on a sabbatical or not. It's changing my life. Like, the clarity that I have from like going through my stuff, and like another video to come. This one I'm gonna hold myself to. Okay, but I want to catch you up from the last time I saw you, or you saw me. The last time you saw me, I was in Mexico. Mexico was the first stop on my sabbatical. It was also my last stop, and I stayed in Mexico for a total of 6 weeks, which is 2.5 months. How did I wrap up, or why did I choose now to end my sabbatical, etc.? Someone asked me that question, and I was like, oh yeah, it just felt like time. There was a whole lot of stuff that was pieced together. I needed some kind of routine, if I'm being honest. I was craving routine. I was getting that in Mexico, which is why I stayed like 2.5 months. I would like which is crazy how I wanted adventure and exploration, but then after a while my body was like routine. So human beings can't fight being a human being. But yeah, I needed some routine. A lot of things were needing to be renewed. Lots of my banking cards, I'm talking debit cards, credit cards, were starting to get close to the expiry dates. On some things we're not working anymore, if I'm being honest. It is hard if you're in North America. Maybe it is the same way in other like countries like Australia, UK, like other developed countries, whatever that means. But it's hard to actually travel. Maybe I'll do another video on like travel and banking, like how I organize my travel and banking, because I traveled again for 10 months and the banking system does not want you to do that. or they're not used to that kind of thing going on. They think every transaction wherever you are is a scam, is someone stealing from you, which is kind of fair when you think about it. They're trying to protect you, but also you have money and you want to use your money. And so they're trying to protect you and block things, and then you have some kind of time differences depending on where in the world you are. So some cards had stopped working for some certain things and I was having to use this, and some things were starting to expire, and I just needed to like fix my banking. Again, I was on top of everything. I was calling, I was troubleshooting as much as I could. But how do you get a new card if the dates are coming close? So that was one thing, just my banking. Little things like my contact lenses. I was trying to figure out where to like reorder my contacts, because I use monthlies and I was kind of on my last month, so I was like, okay, gotta figure this out. I started searching. So just little life admin stuff like that. And then I had this phone call with my sister. It was not actually a phone call, it was more like a video call with my sister. I was in Mexico. It was 8 p.m. in Mexico. That's when the sun will typically go down. And it was about, I think she was an hour ahead, maybe an hour or two ahead, because anyway, she was on FaceTime and it had just become dark where it was, but she was taking a walk and it was bright and lovely, and I was like, okay, I gotta get back to Calgary because I love the longer days, I love daylight, I love Calgary summers. I was like, why am I in a place where there's no longer days basically? So that's another thing that I was like, okay, I think it's time for me to go where I enjoy the summer. And so last time you saw me, I was in Tulum. From Tulum, I went to Oaxaca, Mexico. So I took a bus to, where did I take a bus to? Maybe Playa del Carmen? Oh no, Cancun. Yes, Tulum to Cancun, and then I took a flight from Cancun to Oaxaca. Volaris airline. I'm only gonna just leave you in the hands of God because they were trying to frustrate me. They made me pay for my baggage. Oh my gosh, Volaris, you're in my heart. Anyway, I flew to Oaxaca, and then I was in Oaxaca, the city center, for about a week, and then I moved down south to the coast. It's called Puerto Escondido. So I was in Puerto Escondido area for another week. And the heat, guys, I don't like the cold. I say that every time. I don't know why I just said guys, I'm talking to you. I don't like the cold. I say it all the time. And it was it was hot. The kind of heat that is actually uncomfortable. And so I couldn't do it, and I was like, oh, this is how I learned that I have a limit. I have a limit because it was uncomfortable to be out in the middle of the day. It would make sense for you to be out in the morning and in the evening, but like there was a large number of hours in the middle of the day, maybe like 5 to 6 hours, that it was just uncomfortable. And so I went back to Oaxaca, and from Oaxaca I was like, let me go home. we already have this video. I'm gonna link what side is it gonna be on. One of the sides is popping up right now about what I think about home, but I was like, I'm gonna head back to Calgary. It just felt like time. And everything, if my sabbatical has taught me nothing, it's really taught me to like trust my intuition and trust my gut, and it was time. So go back here, and what have I been up to? I'll give you a little bit. Well, first of all, let's talk about this little place. This is my first time ever renting a studio. At first, I'll be honest, why would I put on a camera to lie to myself and to you? At first, that was something that was in my head. I was like, oh my god, I'm renting a studio. Whoa. Not really woe is me, but I was kind of, it was weird. It's just my first time in a studio. And then maybe 3-4 days later, I saw the good in it. I was like, this is actually the best place I could be in right now. This is awesome. It's like, it's helping me to like figure out what I actually need instead of having a big space and feeling like compelled to like fill it up with stuff. I'm kind of like, you don't need this. You like, it's helping me like get clarity on my life. This is exactly what I need right now. And so I'm in my little studio, and I actually only rented this short term, so I need to, I'm figuring it all out, people. I'm figuring it all out. I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do next. I'm in the messy middle of, this is clearly the transition portion of my sabbatical. It is this part and the start of my sabbatical, my first 2.5 months in Calgary, are the two hardest parts. The middle, the travel portion, was like exploration, fun. I didn't think about anything, which is good, which is exactly what I wanted. I rested, I got all the massages in the world. I indulged, and now I'm like, oh wait, what is life? How do people make money? It's been uncomfortable. But I've learned the skills traveling, buying one-way tickets, tuning into my intuition, being in a place and having to figure things out. Everything, my sabbatical has taught me that I can put me anywhere in the world and I will thrive. I can figure out anything, and I know I'll be fine. I know I'll be taken care of. So all of that, maybe I'll do another video on like what's next and all the internal emotions that I'm going through trying to figure stuff out. But being here, okay, what have I been up to? What have I been up to? I've been back here. Today actually makes it, believe it or not, 2 months since I've been back. I've just been soaking it in. The best thing, first of all, for me is just like cooking for myself again. Cooking myself breakfast, lunches, dinners, like 3 meals a day has been the best gift. I've been traveling for 10 months and I only got to cook for myself. Well, I could have done different things, but what really happened is what I want to tell you, not some plans and imaginations. What really happened is I only cooked for myself in the 2 months that I was in France. Cooked for myself, and it was basically breakfast meals. I would buy myself all breakfast ingredients and I would make myself most breakfast, I would say, while I was in France for 2 months. And when I was in Tulum, just before I got like towards the end of my travels, I was in Tulum for 6 weeks. Nope. Yeah, I was in Tulum for 6 weeks. Oh, so no. So I said at the start of the video that I was in Mexico for 6 weeks, 2.5 months, but I was actually in Mexico. 6 weeks is not 2.5 months, that's the problem, sorry. 6 weeks is 1.5 months, so I was in Mexico for 2 months at the end of my sabbatical. Okay, I got it right now. So I was in Tulum for 6 weeks of those 2 months. Okay. Anyway, while I was in Tulum in that 6 weeks, I was cooking myself also breakfast. I wasn't, yeah. things were limited. It's kind of hard, or I think that's something that I reflected through, like, why didn't I cook for myself more when I was in these places? And I think it's because I didn't know how long I was gonna stay, and I didn't want to commit to buying ingredients and then not using them like more. When I was in France, I knew, okay, I'm in France for 2 months, and so I was able to buy whatever I needed, larger portions, and use them over 2 months. While I was in Tulum, I only knew that I was gonna stay the first 2 weeks, and then I extended for another 2 weeks, which made it a month, and then I extended for another 2 weeks, which makes it 6 weeks. I didn't want to leave, it was bliss. So thinking of like buying groceries for 2 weeks and the pots and pans they had, like, it was just, I could just do breakfast, and I did breakfast. Most breakfast, some breakfast or sometimes I went out for brunch too. So anyway, what I'm saying is I hadn't eaten my own meals. Everybody and their mother and father and brothers and sisters have been cooking for me for the past 10 months, and I'm so grateful. I didn't fall sick even once. I think that's something I want to pause and say. Like, when I say I did it, I'm so thankful God did it for me as well. I didn't fall sick in 10 months. I didn't have any emergency. Things went relatively really well. And I'm thankful. And so everyone has been cooking for me. Being back and cooking for myself has felt like the best gift. Like, I've been meeting up with friends again, and family, of course, and sometimes they suggest we should go here or here or here, and I'm like, can we get a drink? Can we do a walk? Can we get, like, let's go get drinks? I'm suggesting other things because I really don't want to see the inside of a restaurant yet. I did go to a restaurant with friends last weekend, actually. It was good. It was a Nigerian restaurant. It was good food. But for the most part, I'm like happy cooking for myself. I've never been happier. Little joys. It was raining a whole lot in June, which I didn't like, but July, the good weather came out, and really just happy to be here. What have I been up to? Well, first of all, I did a whole lot of life admin. Like, I'm talking about my driver's license was expired, my bank cards, I had to like get new ones for almost all my credit cards and all my banking cards. I did my blood work. Because before I left, I did a full blood work just to see how I'm doing, and I'm back, and I'm like, let me do another full blood work to see how I'm doing, how my body's doing, what did the travel do to my body, is it better, is it worse, etc. Like, just keeping on top of my health that way. So life admin stuff like that, definitely gotten all those done. I have been meeting up with my family and my friends again, just visiting them. Some of them have been coming over here. I'm living by the river, really close by here, so taking walks by the river, getting a drink and walking, talking, going to different places to like meet up with friends. I went to Sylvan Lake last weekend with a bunch of girlfriends. That was awesome. The road trip there, the road trip back, the time there. I've been taking lots of walks along the river as well. Like I'm saying, I've been doing a whole lot of inventorying my life. And I think I should make that another video like I said earlier. But this video is just catching you up from the last time you saw me and kind of saying, hey, I'm still here and I'm back. And there is a lot of things I want to share with you. There's a lot of lessons from this sabbatical. There's a lot of things that I'm noticing, or ways that I'm noticing I'm different since I came back from this sabbatical, or from this travel portion of my sabbatical. So just things like that. Also processing, also sharing lots of stories that I didn't share earlier. So I'm back. If you have questions, put them in the comments below. I will try to get to them ASAP. And thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. we should talk about some of the money stuff too. Like, ask me questions, because this is crazy. But no, it's good to be back. It's good to be seated here. If this is your first time seeing my face, welcome. My name is Name. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm glad you're back. I hope you stay. Subscribe, like my videos. Watch this video, click on this playlist, like, stay. I hope you find something that's interesting to you. I talk about a whole bunch of topics and I've grouped them into playlists. So find something you're interested in and stay for the ride. I will be back very soon. I think I'm back. I am back. Okay, talk soon. Bye.